Oh, good afternoon. I'm Jeff Boccacio from DPL Laboratories, and one of the things that has been very prominent here at the show this week has been primarily talking about the revision standards with HDMI. And one of the things that prompted that, of course, was the latest release of 1.4. What many people don't realize and fail to even understand is that 1.4 is basically a feature set difference. There's really not that big of a deal as far as the cable or internets are concerned. Let me go a little bit further with that. In the earlier days, as we started with 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, the 1.3 break was the big one. When we're in 1.2, everything was operating basically at 1080p, where our bandwidth was limited to about 165 megahertz or 1.65 gigs in data rates. Now, as we moved further on, years later, we came out with 1.3. And then 1.3 rules, things really got very, very dynamic. We moved into much higher bandwidths. We were able to get deeper color, and we're able to offer more and more resolution. So from an engineering standpoint, which is what we are, that was a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to move into standards of higher resolution than we ever had before. However, many people were not real happy about it because they felt that it was maybe a patch or a fix, and it really wasn't. It was just a way and a method for us to move into better technology and, of course, make better sales. Now we're on the edge of moving into 1.4. 1.4 really is more of a feature set deal, and that is that the bandwidth of the interface is exactly the same. It hasn't changed. It's still at 3.4 gigs per channel, 10.2 gigs with the aggregate of all three channels. It also incorporates now methods in the silicon that allow us to move into 3D one day, so that the formats that will be available under 3D content we'll be able to support under 1.4 chipsets. We'll also have the ability to run reverse audio. Audio will be sent back on a very special Ethernet cable that is going to be available inside that cable also. I'll get there in a minute because it's not much of a change. We'll also be able to offer Ethernet or networking over the cable. And that's another big feature set. But as far as the actual interface itself, it really doesn't change that much. Like I said, the bandwidth is the same. All of the HDCP keys, EDID work, it still goes on the same DDC channel. The big difference is now there was a free wire inside the HDMI cable for years, and we never used it. And now we're just incorporating that free wire and one other wire in order to give us Ethernet for both normal Ethernet and also for full duplexing. So now we're to the point where we're at 1.4. We've got higher resolutions available under 1.4, which is 4K 2K. But again, it's not changing the bandwidth. 4K 2K is coming through at 24 frames per minute, not 60. So by reducing that frame rate, reduces our overall frequency response, so we can fit 4K 2K within 1.3's parameters. So there's really nothing new there. The future is going to be in probably higher resolution and reduced frame rates, and also in 3D technology. And I think by the end of the year we'll see more 3D come through, and hopefully by next year, CES time, we start seeing 3D coming into the show at CES with reduced formats and consistency by next summer. My website, of course, dplrating.org. is the name of the website. We are a certification company that certifies HDMI products in a different level than HDMI compliance. HDMI compliance has a certain specification level, which is very important, but DPL challenges the envelope a little bit further so we can see what the performance levels of these products are over and above HDMI compliance. This allows us to work in total systems environments where we can keep the overall integrity of the system well within the boundaries, so that systems don't fail over time, and systems can be upgradable. So dplrating.org is the website, and on that website you'll be able to see some of the manufacturers that are in there, and you'll be able to see their scores, and you'll also be able to get white papers and data from our resource center so that you can learn and understand more about HDMI.